welcome to my kitchen, and today I put some pasta sauce in the crock pot. I'm going to make pasta for dinner, but I thought it might be fun to make some focaccia to go along with it. Focaccia is a really quick and easy flatbread that you can enjoy with your pasta, or you can slice it and have a sandwich with it, and we're going to learn how to make it today. So let's go see how we make this. Our focaccia, and focaccia is very simple. I'm going to have Rick pan out here so you can see it has 5 ingredients. We're going to start with about 2 cups of warm water, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of yeast to that, and then I'm going to turn around and let the cat outside. Well, what are you grumbling for? Go on. Alright. So, 2 cups of warm water, tablespoon of yeast, and a tablespoon of sugar. And I don't usually do this part because I always use instant yeast, and you know that. But for people who are asking me questions, what if I can't find instant yeast or I don't have instant yeast, this is how you would always start. You're going to want to bloom your yeast. You're going to make sure that it's active. Now I know my yeast is active, so that's why you usually don't see me do this part, because I just toss my yeast right into my whole mix. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to use 5 cups of flour, and don't worry about writing the recipe down. I'll have this available on my website, and we're just going to measure in 5 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use bread flour if you like. It gives you a little chewier focaccia. And I'm going to put 5 cups in here for now. And then later, toward the end, I may add another ½ cup. And I'm not being exactly picky about this. I'm just going to scoop 5 times. I think that was 5 times. We'll find out if it wasn't. Okay, so you can see here that what will happen is this will start to bubble and foam. Now, when you see that your yeast has bubbled and foamed, then you know that it's good. And you can proceed. I'm just going to go ahead and pour that right on in there. I'm going to add a ½ cup of olive oil. You're going to need about a cup of olive oil all told here. We're going to put about a ½ cup in our dough right there. And we're also going to put in about a teaspoon or so, a healthy teaspoon of salt. Sorry. And then we're going to put the dough hook on, and we're going to let it do its work here. And we're just going to knead this for, once it comes together, we're going to knead it for 5 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what it looks like. All right, we have finished the kneading part. This is exactly the texture and consistency that you would like it to be. Now, you can see it's just a little bit on the sticky side, but it's not, it's really soft, and it doesn't really stick to my fingers that badly, but that is exactly how we want it. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and clean off my fingers a little. I'm going to get my olive oil back out. I'm going to drizzle some in the bottom. And give this a little massage. And roll it around in there. There we go. Now, coat it. You want this to really be nicely anointed in olive oil, because olive oil is one of the secrets to why focaccia turns out the way it does. Okay? So we're going to put a bonnet on this, and we're going to let this sit in a warm spot for 45 minutes to an hour. Then we'll come back and we'll pan it up, and we're going to get ready to bake it. So we'll be back when that's time to do that. Our focaccia dough has risen, and it has more than doubled in size, and that's exactly where we want it. And first, before I go ahead and deflate that, I have a baking pan here. This is a baking sheet with the sides on it. So you want to make sure that you don't have a flat sheet, because you're going to put quite a bit of olive oil in the base here. And I know this looks like a seriously copious amount of oil, but trust me.
Good thing you washed your hands yesterday.
I did. Oh, and this dough is so beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and gently deflate this. Just like that. Don't punch it, just deflate it with your hand.
Don't be mean.
Just don't be mean to it. Didn't do anything to you, right? Just push that air out. Okay, we're going to come over here. We're going to press it into the pan here. And I watched Anne Burrell make focaccia sometime. I don't know how long it's been since I saw her do this, but she's like, don't just dimple it. Really put holes in it. And you know, it really does do a lot for the texture of the bread. So really get your fingers in there and really pull it apart and mash it up. And then just kind of push it right into that pan there. And don't be afraid of it. Just have fun with it. All of these little crags are going to do, they're going to turn crispy and they're going to be beautiful. And they're going to hold some of this olive oil. And just like that, it's done, right? So now, we're going to cover this with some plastic wrap. And I'm going to let it sit for another 30 minutes. And then we'll come back because we're going to season this up before we pop it in the oven. In the meantime, preheat your oven to 425 degrees.
And let the cat in.
And let the cat in. And then when we're ready to put this in the oven, we'll be back. We've risen for another 30 minutes and we're getting ready to pop this in the oven. But before we do that, we want to season this up. I'm going to use my Jed pizza seasoning. And I'm just going to give this a little sprinkle. And this is just a mixture of Italian herbs. It's got like oregano, basil, garlic, onion, and red pepper flake. This one is almost empty.
Is there any in there?
Yeah, I have another one in the cabinet, but I want to empty this one out first. I hate wasting, so here we go. We'll just pop the lid off of it. Okay. Now I'm not gonna get rid of that tin because I'm kind of in love with the tin. So, and then I'm gonna pop some garlic on here as well. Just a little garlic powder. You of course can leave this plain. You can season it up however you like. It doesn't have to be the way I've done it. And of course, focaccia always has some salt on it. You can use kosher salt. Or you can use sel de la mer, which is like French sea salt, or gray salt, it's a finishing salt. I'm using some pretzel salt that I have on hand, and this is going to give it a nice little crunch. And I got this at the Spice Barn, and this is just like the salt that they would put on like hot pretzels at the mall. Let's see, I'll show you. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. Remember, we've been preheating our oven at 425 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and pop that in the oven right now. And this is going to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. And then when it's time to bring it out, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, focaccia's done. Looks perfect. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this sit here for a few minutes, and then we're going to come back and we're going to cut it, and it's, oh, you're just going to love this. This is not going to have any problem coming out of the pan. It is beautiful. Okay, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, now we're going to just go ahead and slice this, and I'm going to cut it in half. And make sure you have a good bread knife. And I'm going to cut this piece in half this way. Oh, it wants to crack. Now, and I'm going to cut this piece in half this way. Now you can cut it into little strips, or you can cut it into squares. And like, I'm going to show you what it looks like on the inside, but for dinner tonight, we're having pasta, so I'm probably just going to cut some into squares, and I want you to see what this looks like. Oh, And on the bottom, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna eat it. I can't stand it. Oh. 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 You've got to make this, folks. You have to make this. So easy. So delicious. Okay, when you let this cool all the way, you see how thick and pillowy that is? And look how soft it is. Oh, yeah. So, you let this cool all the way, do this. Take a square, just like this. And think about how amazing your sandwich for lunch tomorrow is going to be on this bread. Oh, man. It's better than any bun you ever had. I'm not kidding. So delicious. I'm so sorry. I'm just so happy with the way this came out.
She can't control herself. I told her to.
In all fairness, he did tell me to control myself, and I apologize. Okay. That's how you make focaccia. He can't stand it either. He's going in for more.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God. I know. It's incredible. I'm going to put the recipe on my website, noreenskitchen.com. Make sure you go over there and check it out. Print it out for yourself. I will plan on making this when I make my Christmas Eve dinner, which is going to be meatballs and sausage and pork tenderloin and sauce. Always. This is going to be way better than any Italian bread you can buy in the store. Please, please, please make this focaccia. You will not regret it. And you can do so much with this. If you don't put these seasonings on there, you can eat it for breakfast. You can toast it. It's just going to be delicious. So, focaccia. So easy. Who knew? I hope you try it. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.